Hi, my name is Jacob. This is our fourth and final video in our male infertility series. So far, we have covered treatment options, embarrassment, and the impact male infertility can have on a couple. For our final segment, we will be talking about how to handle being infertile by way of certain strategies. There are certain strategies you can use if you are feeling overwhelmed by being diagnosed as infertile. These three strategies can be used on your relationship or by yourself to help. These three strategies include self-control, acceptance, and distancing. Self-control. The self-control technique is good to use with both partners. Basically, the idea here is if your partner is feeling emotional or just overwhelmed by this fertility issue, have some self-control over your emotions and to comfort the other. Acceptance. The acceptance strategy is utilized when you are feeling down about yourself because of the fertility issues. Instead of beating yourself up, stop, consider, breathe. Think about taking ownership of your infertility. Think about accepting that it is not your fault, that it is okay, and that there are other options available to you, some of which we've discussed in an earlier video. Distancing. Our final technique is called the distancing method. This means you take a break from infertility. You separate yourself from it completely. You stop worrying about it. You pull yourself away from it, and you go on with life as usual. This will help you manage and release your levels of stress in your daily life. We thank you for watching our series on male infertility. We encourage you to seek help if you or your partner may be experiencing infertility. Again, thank you so much for your time.
So one of the things we did to address the issue of infertility was to simply accept it. A lot of people may dismiss it or decide to take breaks. We didn't really do that. We decided this was the situation. Let's just figure out what we need to do to fix it. I went to a specialist myself. I checked me out, determined that unfortunately I just would not be producing very much sperm. There wasn't much that could be done for me, which was fine. I accepted it. So we decided that we looked into IVF, adoption. We decided IVF mostly because I wanted, and I knew my wife wanted to have a baby, to have the birthing process, and I wanted to give that to her as well, to have her have that process. And to be honest, it wouldn't make that much difference for me in terms of whether we adopted or not. Actually felt more comfortable with the idea of IVF than adoption, in that I've never been around babies before, and I felt like if I started the process from the beginning, I would be a stronger parent for it. But I don't know that we necessarily discussed a coping strategy. It's just how we operated as a couple. I think if it were just me on my own and I discovered it, I probably would have ignored the problem. I never would have seen a specialist to begin with. I'm glad I did. I'm glad I know where I stand. Also important to know that it's not something that will continue to deteriorate or connected with something else that could be harmful for me. The process of going to the doctor's office, going to a specialist, was very difficult, but I just reminded myself that my wife goes through something equally difficult, she went through several of those appointments, and I only had to do it once. So I think it's very important to keep the relationship in mind, not just yourself, not just where you stand, but where your partner stands and where you stand together. Um, that's been the biggest key in us doing what we do. And actually, I want to show you something that I hope will indicate how much worthwhile this whole process has been. So let me find this picture. It's a little blurry, and I know it's going to be awfully bright on here. Yeah, probably too bright. Let's see if we can bring that down. Yeah, let's try. Oh yeah, that's better. So that's my son Wally, and I love him. I couldn't be happier. This is why we do what we do, to have some special bright person in your life. But you know, it's important. I know others who have made the decision that they're going to take a break, and maybe not even have children. And that's all right too. You have to decide for yourself what's going to work, what isn't going to work. This for us was super important. This is what we wanted to do. Just decide as a couple, decide together as a unit, and I think you'll find that you're going to have a much happier, healthier time together. Thank you so much.